This is a great story following up Hillary Clinton's Benghazi testimony last week. I told you yesterday that many conservatives recognize that Hillary Clinton totally dominated that hearing. It was a big win for her. We talked about the record campaign donations that came in for Hillary Clinton in the hour and in the 13 hours following the panel. And now Congressman Trey Gowdy said that in the future, they might stick to private interviews when it comes to Benghazi instead of these publicly televised gong shows. Here's a little bit of that interview.
Let me ask you this. If you said this the other night on Fox with Greta Van Susteren, you said, part of what I saw yesterday, Greta, wasn't all that constructive, and for the American people to just tune into a 9-hour food fight, I would err on the side of a private one before I would do that. It was in response to a question about future witnesses that you would bring on, whether it would be on TV or not. It sounds like you may regret how you went about questioning Secretary Clinton, that maybe you should have done some of it off camera and only some of it on camera. What do-over do you want?
Well, Chuck, it was a voluntary interview. I didn't send a subpoena to Secretary Clinton. It was a voluntary interview, and she wanted it to be in public. I wrote a letter several months ago giving her an option. And she chose public, and that's well within her rights. I can just tell you that of the 50-some-odd interviews we have done thus far, the vast majority of them have been private, and you don't see the bickering among the members of Congress in private interviews. You don't see any of that. So
the venue
that is most constructive.
You think the TV camera adds to the grandstanding on both sides of the aisle?
What do you think, Chuck? I mean, you've been following Congress for a long time. I can just tell you in the private interviews, there is never any of what you saw Thursday. It is 1 hour on the Republican side, 1 hour on the Democrat side, which is why you're going to see the next 24 interviews done privately, because it is, I mean, look at the other investigations that are being done right now.
That's right. Clinton's testimony was public because Hillary Clinton did want it to be public. And we know, Lewis, that when the interviews happen in private, immediately after, the Republicans all come out very serious and give a press conference about the disturbing revelations that came out of that interview with selective quotes that really misstate what it is that took place. So I actually understand Hillary Clinton wanting this to be public. And it's hilarious now that they're saying, well, you know, the private ones tend to be better for us. And apparently that's what they're going to do from now on. I don't blame them for a second.
Not at all. I mean, I think that he's right in that there is probably much more accomplished in the private setting.
Yeah.
But Hillary was wise to demand that this be public.
People email me saying that Trey Gowdy looks like a bird. And quite frankly, I don't care what he looks like. What a politician looks like really is not something I concern myself with. My concern is that he appears to be bird-brained, because that's the only explanation I can see for carrying out this absurd and patently obvious smear attempt on Hillary Clinton, which fortunately has completely backfired on them.
Yeah, and it must be taxing to go on show after show after show and try to
spin.
Keep trying to convince the public that what you're doing is serious and that there's an objective here, when really we know what this is all about, and he just can't say it.
It must be taxing to try to constantly convince people of something that's obviously not true, which is that this was a serious hearing meant to really look into the specifics of what happened in Benghazi. And part of the reason we know that's not true is we had 7 hearings already, and we figured out most of what we needed to figure out. After the break, good guys with guns, bad guys with guns, and much more. Stay with us.